There have been a lot of debates over why Anakin's Force Ghost would look like his younger self than newer versions of Return of the Jedi. Some both good and not so good arguments. However, during these debates, the novelization of The Return of the Jedi is usually never brought up, despite it providing a pretty strong explanation for why Anakin's Force Ghost is in his young self, 20 years or so before Lucas would actually put it in the movie. It fits so well, and has to make us all wonder if Lucas actually intended on using a younger actor for Anakin's ghost. This is what the novel says as it explains Vader's dying thoughts. It intensified momentarily, Vader's own sense of anguish to his crimes. Now he added guilt at the imagination of his appearance. But then this brought to him to mind the way he used to look, striking and grand, that hint of invincibility, and took in all of life with a wink. Yes, that was how he looked once, and this was a memory that brought a wave of other memories. With it, memories of brotherhood and home, his dear wife, the freedom of deep space, Obi-Wan, his friend, and how that friendship had turned he knew not how, until hold. These two memories he wanted none of, not now. Memories of molten lava crawling up his back. No, this boy had pulled him from that pit. Basically, in his dying moments, in his mind he became of what he once was. That was who he chose to die as. And while the original movie novelizations aren't fully canon anymore, it's still possible that Lucasfilm may accept this explanation when asked a question regarding Anakin's younger Force Ghost. Additionally, we can also point out that becoming a Force Ghost is said to be an ability not attainable by the Sith, rather only exclusive to Jedi. So when Anakin did become a Sith and vowed his allegiance to Palpatine, being named at that moment Darth Vader, the Jedi Anakin in him was no more and had died. So taking this all in, it really does make sense now for why Anakin's Force Ghost was that of his younger self. I'll admit, when I first saw the special editions, I wasn't happy with the change one bit. However, now knowing this knowledge, I'm more content with the change, as it now makes far more sense. After all, Anakin was never a Jedi as an older individual, so why would he be projected as one as a Force Ghost? Also, if you need any more convincing, here's Dave Filoni's take on the whole subject.
Part of it definitely revolves around the fact, which I think is a critical change that he made that I actually like a lot, which is that Anakin after death is the young man that you knew. Anakin, when he appears in the Force, is the last moment that he was the good person that he very much wanted to be, the good person that we believed in. It doesn't make sense mythologically for him to maintain the guise of the old man afterward in the Force, because he was never good. He was never balanced when he was that person. He was the wicked old man. So he has to shed that skin like everything else. So he appears as a young man. Yoda doesn't learn directly all those answers either from the priestesses. They are basically putting him through a trial to see if he's even worthy of this knowledge and would he abuse the knowledge and somewhat pervert the power. He still has to learn this process from Qui-Gon, which is why he tells Obi-Wan he's communing with Qui-Gon later in Revenge of the Sith. That was another thing we had to hurdle over, which is all that continuity where he tells, I've been talking to Qui-Gon, which is why we put the scene in where Yoda goes to Anakin and says, hey, had you been talking to Qui-Gon on Mortis? And Anakin's like, well, I thought maybe, but Obi-Wan's like, no way. Which is the summary of like, you have to get that Obi-Wan doesn't believe on Mortis. He's not as much a true believer as Anakin was about that whole experience. When you're into this type of stuff, you can go, as long as you talk long enough, it sounds like I answered to you.
I mean, even just watching the episode, because Yoda is talking to Anakin, it almost is like he's planting the seed in Anakin's mind.
Oh. Yes, Leland. Darn, you figured it out.
But what do you all think about this? Is the novelization explanation a good one? Or were you already fine with the younger Anakin Force Ghost to begin with? Let me know in the comments down below. But that'll do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if so, drop a like on the video to help support the channel. Also, if you're looking for more Star Wars content, I'd recommend subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can be notified whenever a new video is posted. As always, I'll see you on the next one.